Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. And friends, hope you're all having a great weekend. I was looking at some positive developments in Caribou Biosciences and thought that this was the right time to make a video because there is sufficient positive news out there and maybe it will make your weekend even better. We'll also take a quick look at the price chart of Caribou and see if we can find any clues out there if some money can be made. And before we start, in case you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help grow this channel. And with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. In the first week of April, Caribou Biosciences, a company focused on developing gene editing therapies, said that it has recently been granted fast-track designation from the US FDA for its promising CAR-T cell therapy CB-011. Earlier, it had already had a positive development on CB-010, but now it's the turn of CB-011. The therapy is currently being developed for the treatment of patients with relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma, or it's called as R/RMM in a short form, a type of blood cancer that affects plasma cells. Currently, Caribou is conducting its phase 1 camouflage trial to assess the safety and efficacy of CB-011 in R/RMM patients. The trial includes patients at dose level 1, and with the newly granted fast-track designation, the company will be able to accelerate the development and evaluate this therapy at further doses. In case you did not know, fast-track designation is granted to therapies that show promising results in early-stage trials and address an unmet medical need. This designation will help Caribou receive early and continual communications from FDA during the regulatory review procedures, which will ultimately speed up the approval process. Additionally, with this designation, Caribou will be eligible for accelerated approval and priority review, provided that the necessary parameters are met. And this is a great deal of acceleration in the FDA approval process by virtue of this designation. The CB-011 therapy is based on chimeric antigen receptor T cells, or CAR-T technology, which involves taking T cells from a healthy donor, engineering them to recognize and attack cancer cells, and then infusing them back into the patient's body. And in this case, with CB-011, what Caribou has done is it has made additional edits in order to camouflage the Caribou CAR-T therapy so that it can evade the human immune system and persist longer in the body. And this particular CAR-T cell therapy has shown promising results in treatment of various cancers, including refractory and relapsed MM, and where traditional treatments have been less effective, those patients have shown positive response to this allogeneic therapy. And as you know from before, allogeneic means a therapy that comes from healthy donors. Autologous means a therapy that is derived by harvesting the T cells from the patient, modifying it and putting it back into their body. CB-011 is an allogeneic anti-BCMA CAR-T cell therapy engineered to improve persistence of anti-tumor response through an immune cloaking genome editing approach that removes the B2M protein and inserts a B2M-HLA-E fusion protein. The result of this is that the therapy is able to evade human immune system and persist longer. CB-011 has got 4 edits implemented via Caribou's Cas12a CRISPR hybrid RNA-DNA, which is a short form of chRDNA. That's the technology that they are using. Edits 1 and 2 in the CAR-T are a humanized anti-BCMA CAR inside specifically inserted into the TRAC gene to target cancer cells, thereby knocking out expression of the T cell receptor to reduce the risk of graft versus host disease. So overall, CB-011 is for patients with R/RMM who have often exhausted all available treatment options, making the need for new therapies urgent. CB-011 has shown promising results in preclinical studies, and the fast-track designation from FDA will allow Caribou to accelerate the development of this potentially life-saving therapy. So suffice to say that they have kind of perfected the ability to provide their allogeneic CAR-T cell therapy some special edits that allows it to avoid being killed by the body's own T cells as well as by natural killer cells in the body. And that's a very big achievement for allogenic therapy. And I think this is going to differentiate Caribou from others. Caribou Biosciences Chief Medical Officer Syed Rizvi expressed his enthusiasm for the fast-track designation for CB-011, stating that it would allow for important interactions with the FDA as they progress their clinical development and regulatory plans for the therapy. He emphasized that the timeliness of this designation, as the company has recently dosed its first patient in the camouflage phase 1 trial. Rizvi's goal is to develop CB-011 as a readily available off-the-shelf treatment options for patients with relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma, which would overcome many of the challenges associated with current treatment options. More recently, last week, Caribou announced positive information on CB-012, which targets relapsed or refractory acute myeloid leukemia. The positive news was that the genome-edited armoring strategy deployed in CB-012 has proven effective and has significantly improved overall survival in AML xenograft models, and the company is progressing on track to submit IND applications for the second half of this year. So I think the immune dodging ability of Caribou CAR-T, especially as allogenic therapy, is going to be a winning differentiator for this company among its peers, because allogenic CAR-T, when successful, will prove to be more potent because it's coming from healthy donors, and will be more timely because it is off the shelf as compared to autologous solutions. It will also logistically be very inexpensive compared to autologous CAR-T solutions, where an infrastructure is needed, trained personnel are needed to harvest the cells from the patient and work on it and modify it and prepare it for a reinfusion into the patient. And the whole thing would take around 15 days or so, during which time a patient's condition can deteriorate, whereas off-the-shelf avoids that problem as well. So let us quickly take a look at Caribou's pipeline and see what all they have accomplished and what are in the pipeline for them. After that, we'll take a quick look at the price chart before we end this video. Let's go to the pipeline. Well, friends, here we are in the Caribou Biosciences website looking at their pipeline. And you guys should remember that Jennifer Doudna is in the scientific advisory committee for this company, and she's also co-founder of Caribou Biosciences. So the pedigree is pretty strong out here. And if you look at their CAR-T platform, CB-010 is in phase 1, CB-011 is in phase 1, and CB-012, about which we spoke a few minutes ago. And all of these have shown excellent results in cloaking the CAR-T against the human immune system and the natural killer cells, and are doing extremely well. So that's a good progress out there. They have the CAR-NK platform for CB-020. It's in the discovery stage, so that's very premature. And in collaboration with AbbVie, they have 2 CAR-T programs which are in discovery stage. We don't have much details out there. So I think these 3 candidates, as they progress further, would probably be the ones to show the results first. And there's a long way for them to become monetized. But overall, the fact that they have been able to crack the problem of rejection of the CAR-T cell by the human body, like the T cells as well as natural killer cells attacking the engineered CAR-T cell. That's a very, very big achievement, and it's going to be a big differentiator for them. And I have always held that allogenic CAR-T therapy would be far superior to autologous CAR-T therapy, and I've explained the reasons why. So I think I feel a bit bullish about this company. And I wouldn't go into details of CB-011 and CB-012, but I would just like to read a little bit about CB-010 because we didn't cover that. It is their most developed product candidate, and it's allogenic anti-CD19 CAR-T cell therapy. So it's targeting the CD19 protein. We use Cas9 chRDNA guides to make 3 edits to manufacture CB-010. We site-specifically insert the CD19 specific CAR into the T cell genome. We knock out the TRAC gene to remove the T cell receptor, and we knock out the gene encoding PD-1. The goal of the PD-1 knockout is to boost the persistence of CAR-T cell anti-tumor activity, which we believe has the potential to reduce CB-10 exhaustion and potentially confer a better therapeutic index compared to other allogeneic CAR-T cells. CB-010 is the first allogeneic CAR-T cell therapy with a PD-1 knockout in clinical studies, and it is being evaluated in the ongoing open-label multi-center phase 1 antler clinical trial in the United States in adults with relapsed or refractory B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma. So that's the status of CB-010, and it has got Regenerative Medicine's Advanced Therapy or RMAT designation, and it has also got a Fast Track designation, and it's also got an Orphan Drug designation. So this is a very strong company, and I think they have sufficient cash, and they should be doing pretty well going forward. And the question is, let's look at their pipeline, let's look at their price chart before I go into the prospects of whether to buy Caribou Biosciences or not. So here we are in our TradingView platform, and I'm getting into the Caribou Biosciences chart. And as you can see, Caribou Biosciences has been stumbling for quite a while, and its peak, like other genomic stocks, have been in around 15th of September 2022, when it touched a high of 13.20 per share. And since then, it has been falling. And last trading day, it closed at 4.47 on Friday. And that was an increase of 3.47 from the previous close. So basically, we have a trend reversal pattern forming out here. And we'll have to see what happens on Monday. Overall, I think the momentum is a bit weak, and also the MACD is bearish, and we seem to be on a bear channel. However, ever since 23rd of March 2023, the bear channel has been broken out of, and we are kind of plateauing out here. I'm just going to draw a trend line out here to see. So it's almost a straight line, like we are bouncing along this straight line of support, which happens to be at 4.47. And we have to see whether we can bounce off from here and go further up. We have the earnings coming up on 8th of May 2023. It's not too far away. And the expectation is a EPS of minus 481 and a revenue of 2.75 million. And friends, as I say that when it comes to these kind of companies which do not have a product in place, it's very difficult to estimate earnings and revenue. So we'll take these estimates for what it is worth, and we'll see what happens on 8th of May. But overall, it has got a good management, and it's got franchising revenue also, because it's licensing the CRISPR-Cas9 technology. So that's about what I have to say when it comes to Caribou. Now comes the very, very big question. You may say, Raj, okay, you have spoken a long time about various things. Tell me, should I buy this share or not? So first of all, let me say that every video in this channel is my personal opinion and not financial advice. And having said that, the way I look at whether or not to purchase Caribou Biosciences, the question is, what kind of an investor are you? If you are a trader who is looking for profits, if you're a day trader and all, I don't think Caribou Biosciences is for you, because it could fall steeply and then it could go up. But when it does, we don't know. So there is no fundamentals out here as far as this company is concerned, or any genomic company is concerned. It's all sentiment based. And if the market sentiment moves, so does the sentiment for genomics. If you have a longer term horizon, like 5-year time frame, and if you're willing to undertake or willing to bear seeing your portfolio in the red for a long period of time, being fully confident that at a later date it's just going to multiply and pay you back, then it's worth investing in Caribou at this point of time, because Caribou Biosciences has a long way to go before it can get an approved therapy through FDA. And after that, it has to monetize it, and I think that will be the first monetization Caribou would be doing in the company's history. So there is going to be a learning curve out there. So that's the consideration I would have. However, when I look at the fact that Caribou is developing allogenic therapies, it's going to take a much easy model of distribution like existing drugs. It's going to be off the shelf. So Caribou doesn't have to set up a big infrastructure for taking blood out of the patient and then working on it to create a personalized medicine. This is going to be from healthy donors, and it's going to be off the shelf. So from that perspective, I think Caribou Biosciences has got a better product in hand compared to the others. And the fact that their FDA clinical trial data is showing very good effectiveness of their cloaking technology, which protects the CAR-T while it's inside the patient's body from the natural killer cells and the body's T cells, is a very, very big win for this company. And if it continues to be proved in phase 2 and they get a certification for any one of these 3 CAR-T cell therapies, CB-010, 11, or 12, if any of them, which are the front-running therapies anyway, then if they get FDA approval, then it will be first of its class, and it will be very much in demand as an allogeneic therapy. And yeah, it will be superior to anything else. They have a big competitive advantage with that, and with that comes pricing advantage. So again, coming back to should you buy or not, I mean, it depends on how much money you have to that you can put away and forget about it for maybe the next 3 to 4 years. And if you're looking at some profits in the 5th year, and then I think Caribou makes sense. And of course, then there is the opportunity cost when your shares are negative for 4 years. All the earnings that you could have done in some other share, let's say like Apple or Tesla or something else, which is giving a lot of returns, or some utility company which is going to give you dividends for 4 years. All those opportunity costs have to be kept in mind. So it's like a question of what do you want to do? It's up to every individual how they want to approach this. But one thing is sure, in the near term, there is no profitability. The profitability will come only in the longer run. And of course, these are the cutting edge technologies, and this is the very early days. So when they succeed, they are going to be the state of the art, and it will be pricey and more profitable. And everyone would like to own a share in that kind of a company 4 to 5 years down the line. So it's exactly up to you. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with it. And friends, with that, I would like to end this video. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, please do not hesitate to press a like out there because it helps the channel. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And if you feel generous, please try the super thanks feature. It's fun. Take care. Have a great day. Bye for now.